In this episode of the RV Small Talk podcast, we are going to talk about the hootinest, hauntinest places you could possibly go across these fair lands. That's right. Haunted hotels, places that have poltergeists and things like that you might want to visit, to stay, to, get a souvenir from. That's right. Haunted hotels with the RV Small Talk podcast.
If you're looking for adventure when you're traveling, why not add in a haunted hotel, right? I think it's a great idea.
Welcome to the RV Small Talk podcast, where we talk about lightweight trailers, truck campers, and people, places, and adventures that go right along with them. We are your hosts from Princess Craft RV. I'm Clint.
I'm PJ.
And it smells really bad in here, PJ.
I know I burned my lunch and it just has made the whole building smell bad. Has anybody ever done that?
Well,
I don't know.
You're the boss. I'm not sure.
No, you're the only one who's ever burnt their lunch in the whole world.
Hey, at least I didn't cook fish.
That's true.
At least it's not smell-o-vision podcasting today.
Y'all can't tell.
This episode is a scratch and sniff episode. Go ahead there. Scratch.
You can't even
give it a try.
See ghosts. How would you be able to smell it?
Hey, we're going to talk about
what do
smelling
ghosts
things.
smell like?
Ooh,
I wonder if there's...
know.
I'll bet someone out there says there's a smell.
Of course there's a smell.
Of a ghost?
Yeah. They make noise. You can see them. They got to have a smell. You can feel the presence.
Well, the first one we're going to talk
essence.
about, there is a history of smelling someone. Yeah,
Well, there
I
you go.
know.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's on the
I
first
know.
thing we're going to talk about.
Okay, well, let's just tell people that if you find this episode interesting and you want more details, we're going to have show notes for it at rvsmalltalk.com, and that'll have links to these places so you can do further digging, more research on all the places we talk about. Also, we can be found on social media, RV Small Talk Podcast, or YouTube, RV Small Talk Podcast. And it doesn't matter where you listen to our podcast. You can always go online in a browser to Apple Podcasts and rate and review. For some reason, that helps all the podcast services to promote us more. I don't know why that is, but it's true. So help us out a little bit. Now on to the scary stuff.
Wait, before we start, Clint, you need your coffee cup to be in the shot.
Oh.
Okay, so
It's
do we need to?
cute.
Do we need
No, we don't need to do a whole thing.
He painted
It
this.
just needs to be in the shot.
He painted this.
It's too cute to have it way over there. You can't even see it in the
is
shot.
It's kind of,
just
yeah, it's kind of small in the shot.
adorable.
It is adorable.
All right, y'all talk. I'll bring it up to the camera. Y'all talk.
Okay, you have to see.
Once upon a time,
all the cool
in
stuff.
a land far, far away.
There was a ghost in a hotel. What room?
I like how we're starting with the Driscoll because we.
Yeah, it won't.
No, I tried to cover her face. It didn't work.
Oh well.
I like that we're starting with the Driscoll because I feel like actually know stuff about the Driscoll. Like you've stayed there and you know all the history and stuff. So tell us about it.
I have drank at the piano bar many times over the decades. Very famous hotel lobby bar. It is a very famous hotel where LBJ used to hang out, waiting for election results. And it's very Texan. It's just super cool. I worked there before. I worked in the restaurant and I have stayed there. And so it's one of my favorite haunts. One of the things I love to do. Hey, I threw that in there. That was a Clint, right? So, but it's one of the great things if you go downtown is
to say something.
to hang out
a
at the
haunt is a
Driscoll.
place that you go and you hang out.
Yes.
Oh,
So
I've never heard
it's
that
one-
before.
Yeah, it's one of her
Yes.
favorite
Heard
haunts.
that before, Caitlin? No? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Okay, well now they know.
It's a
I knew.
haunt.
But I have never seen a ghost.
Have you ever heard anything?
I have heard about them, but I haven't ever heard anything.
Not even
Lame
creaky
sauce.
plumbing or anything like that. The floorboards.
No, not at all. And
Nothing.
the room is, we stayed in the older part of the hotel.
Which is where you expect stuff to happen.
Yes, exactly. And we did that on purpose. And it feels very much like a room would feel, I think, during the time that it was built. When was it built?
1860? 1886?
Something.
1886.
A long time ago.
100 years before I was born, exactly.
Wow.
I know, pretty weird. Right now, it's not that weird.
But it feels like it's tiny room, little bed in the corner. I mean, just weird little 24-inch doorways.
Kind of like a hotel from a Western. Is it that kind of a feel?
It could kind of feel that way.
It's
it feels more
fancier than that.
Victorian.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
fancier
Because
than that.
it was a very fancy hotel when it opened. The railway was coming through. There was
The railroad?
the railroad
The
with
Montana Pacific?
Maybe. I think it's Missouri.
Missouri
Pacific.
I just
Yes.
picked a state that started with M. I don't know.
Well, you got
Montana.
close.
Yep.
Yeah, because our highway is Mopac. But at any rate, it is such a cool hotel, and you can go down these big stairs into their beautiful like check-in area, and they have the history of the hotel.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. And then the renovations that they've done and the people, I don't know, it's just awesome.
Lindsay,
I love that stuff.
who's purported to be haunting this place?
Mr. Driscoll, duh.
Well, that's a start.
Okay.
Jesse Driscoll. So I want to know how long between opening it and
Your next word? How long between opening it and your next word?
did he sell it? So like right after he opened it, shortly after, he gambled and blew all of his money. So now he haunts the Driscoll. But like,
Right.
did he lose all his money and lose the hotel?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
then he died just normally when he was old?
I don't know how he died, but he is the one that they say they see people that's kind of in cowboy wear
Right.
that looks like what he would wear. And he loved to smoke cigars, and they smell cigar smoke.
Oh, so that's the smell. Okay. Well,
So ghosts, I guess, can smell.
Well,
so I'm wondering if after he lost it, if he still visited the
Right.
Driscoll. Was it recently? It was built, it was open, maybe a year or two. He loses in a poker match, and yet he's got angst about losing it, and yet for some reason he can't keep himself away. He kept visiting it.
I think I
wonder.
don't know that he kept visiting it. I think it was a horrible, humiliating loss for him.
Well, he keeps visiting it now.
Yes, but he's there now. But there are other
else?
ghosts there too. This is really known for a couple of things. There is a bride who is famous for the guy calling off the wedding at the last minute, and she was staying in room 525, and she killed herself. Now that is said to have happened like a long time ago.
Y'all remember, this is a very lighthearted family podcast. We only talk about light. Happy
Yeah,
things.
well, ghosts are never like,
Yeah, well-
oh, they loved it so much. They just come back to
we're
visit.
talking about ghosts. There's like tragedy
Tragedy that happens
every
Okay, so
corner.
this bride, but the reality is nobody could ever find any specific evidence of this, but it is purported to have happened in room 525.
Okay.
And they say she wanders the halls in her Victorian gown. So that is somebody that people have seen.
I mean, those things are worth a lot of money. I guess if you see her,
Victorian gown?
Yeah, should you like offer her? Hey,
Hey, I'll make a trade.
I don't think this worked out for you, but that is a stunning gown. What do you want for it? You think she'd take kindly to that?
I don't know.
I mean, lots of
bet she
thrift shops
really-
around.
Yeah, maybe she doesn't really want to talk. She just wants to show off her pretty dress.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the really creepy thing that happened.
Okay.
In 1991,
91.
That was not that long ago.
that was not that long ago.
Ask your kids how long ago that was.
I know,
I
actually.
know. Okay, well,
I don't think Caitlin was born yet.
and we are thinking,
Born in 1991.
oh, what? You were like 8 years old. What are you thinking? You were all that?
Yeah, all 8 years old.
5 years old. So then this bride may have asked to stay in 525 because it was
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
Right? Well, then her groom to be dumps her. She takes his credit card and she goes shopping.
Yeah.
Right? She maxes out the credit card. She comes back with just all of these boxes and everything, gets in the bathroom and shoots herself.
Well, she can't be taken to court for that.
That's right. So she dies in room 525 in 1991.
Man,
Right.
this and now that's a real
That
thing.
really happened.
That's we can find a newspaper clipping on that
That
one.
really happened.
Because back then they had newspapers.
Yes.
So
Way back then.
another bride.
Yes, 2 brides, same room.
It's always a bride.
But nobody can really corroborate the first one.
Yeah.
It's just the rumor that's been going around for 100 years. So, but there's more.
Okay.
You want to hear more?
ShamWow.
Sure.
Okay. There's also a child that people have seen. And she walks around bouncing a ball kind of around the stairs at the top of the big staircase.
Yeah.
And so people have heard this child, and people think it's someone called Samantha Houston. Now, I don't know where they get that name. I don't know where the story came from.
Yeah.
But no one can find evidence of Samantha Houston dying at the Driscoll. But that is the story that gets passed around.
Okay.
So,
Okay, but does anyone ever just tell her, bouncing a ball at the top of the staircase isn't the best idea? Go to a lower flat where the ball's not going to go down and you're going.
That's the fun
I
part.
think the story is she fell down the stairs.
Okay.
So,
All right. So
So
maybe
that's
too late
why.
to tell her.
but I don't know.
Lindsay, you okay?
Can you fall twice?
No.
And there's also a painting that people get creeped out at there. I think people just generally get creeped out.
Yeah.
Once there's stories going around. And out of all the hotels we're going to talk about, this is probably the least kind of creepiest.
Oh yeah, the least creepiest.
Maybe. I don't know. It's still, I'm telling you guys, if you're ever coming to Austin, the Driscoll is the place to stay. It's just super cool.
Now, if I could
really
say,
pretty.
we know that you're not going to be taking your RV and staying in the Driscoll with your RV, but amongst your trips, sometimes you have a hobby of checking out creepy places, and you may travel multiple days to get there. Well, take your RV on the trip to get there, and then stay at the Driscoll for a night or two. Find yourself a creepy unwed bride. How's it unwed? You can't have an unwed bride.
Unwed bride,
A
what?
creepy kid bouncing a ball and a creepy photograph. Or
You
pan.
know, even if you're not staying there, it is really one of my favorite things to do to take visitors there.
Yeah.
They have a bar that takes up the main part of their lobby. They still have a piano bar. Just walking through the bottom and seeing everything. It's beautifully decorated. It's kind of a cross between Texas and Victorian,
Sure.
Victorian glamour.
Is it?
And so it's
one
kind
of
of
those
all
old
in the
wood
middle.
bars, and like has the trough at the bottom of the bar so you could spit.
I don't think I could remember all the details, but I remember it's very, very pretty.
Oh, okay.
It's very cool.
All right.
Tons of fun.
Moving on.
So a great place to visit.
The Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado.
Doesn't everybody know about the Stanley Hotel? Lindsay, do you know about the Stanley?
I had to read about
Shining Hotel, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it. No, and then the answer is no, I didn't. Because I haven't watched The Shining, haven't read it, anything like that.
Well, what I didn't know until a few minutes ago is that The Shining was actually written when he went there to spend the night. Stephen King went there to spend the night at The Shining, and it was the last day they were open for the season.
At the time, was it called The Shining Hotel?
No, it's not called The
No,
Shining.
it was
he
called
went
the
to go
Stanley
stay at the
Hotel.
Stanley Hotel.
Oh, the Stanley. Okay.
Yes. And so we went to go stay there, and it was the last day of the season, so there were no other guests. He was in the hotel by himself.
Yeah.
So he stayed in the very famous room 217 and woke up in the middle of the night with these horrifying dreams. So we got up,
I started writing.
drank a cup of coffee, smoked a cigarette, and formed the plot for The Shining.
I wonder because I don't know. I've seen very little interviews with Stephen King, but he's done a bunch. I could probably do a whole binge on this tonight or whatever. I feel like maybe he's tortured with ideas and dreams all the time. Because he's a prolific writer in this format.
Yeah, maybe.
And maybe it's just like a night of inspiration.
But to wake up in room 217 and have
That is
all of
strange to
this-
wake up in room 217 when you reserved it.
I guess if that's where you went to bed, that's not really weird to wake up there, huh? That's funny.
So have you seen The Shining? Have you read The Shining? I've done neither.
Absolutely. And a lot of the things that he shows in The Shining are things that have supposedly people have seen there.
Okay, so you kind of chronicled it all and put it into
maybe
an hour
pieces
format.
of it. And what I don't know is that if he heard the stories and then had the nightmares, or if he had the nightmares and then maybe heard some stories. I don't know.
So the Driscoll you can stay at, and the Stanley, which inspired the Shining, you can stay at that still today, now.
Yes.
Would you?
I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think room 217 is always booked?
I bet it is.
Caitlin, will you check the next available booking for room 217 at the Stanley Hotel? Yeah, I want to see. Like, is it like 5 years?
But
all right.
I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things that people are used to seeing there. The staircase has a lot of activity. They have a big staircase there. It is the hotel that is in The Shining.
Okay, so
you can
that's
see
another question.
That famous hotel look is exactly what the Stanley looks like.
Did they shoot in the hotel or did they shoot on a set?
I don't know. But I do know that the pictures of the outside are the Stanley Hotel.
Yeah.
So, but
and did they have the maze out front?
I don't think so. I haven't seen
maze
that.
like labyrinth or maze like corn?
Maze like both.
Is it corn maze?
It's a corn maze. No, it's not a corn maze.
How convenient.
But it is like a maze with like shrubs.
Okay,
they're just not
corn maze. It's a maze.
Is it a maze or is it just rows?
It's a maze.
I remember a maze.
Yeah, it's a maze but it's bushes. They're big.
It's a maze.
Tall.
Okay.
I'm amazed at
All right,
the
who's this at the bottom? I'm reading here at the bottom. Rocky Mountain Jim. He sounds like a creep.
Well,
yeah, I saw that too. I thought that was so funny. Rocky
he is one of the
Mountain
people
Jim.
that apparently has some history there, and you hear these heavy footsteps. But they say they also hear children laughing and running down the halls. They also hear like closet doors opening, and some people say, that people they think ghosts come in and tidy up their things.
Oh.
Or move
Can we
their
invite some of
suitcases
these to my house?
Things like that. Yeah.
You know what? These
Right
ghosts.
now?
If there's a
Breaking news.
what?
We can go right now.
Oh,
Room 217 is open right now. Yeah. Is it for $309 a night? For $309? That's
For $309, we can stay in the room that Stephen King stayed in when he dreamt up The Shining.
For
$309,
is it booked
man.
this weekend? Is it booked next weekend?
If you're a Stephen King fan, wouldn't that be cool?
But that's look, it's like never booked. Like it's free. That I feel like that means
maybe a
it
reason.
can't
All
be
right,
booked.
we're going to figure this out, and we'll put it in the show notes. Someone's going to figure it out and put it in the show notes.
well, if there's a team of ghosts run around tidying up rooms and things like that, I think that they're missing a business opportunity.
Right?
Oh, and they say that there's a child that they think might be kind of autistic that goes around playing with like guests' hair. They feel their hair being kind of pulled on.
Well, I need to go
And I'm
soon
like,
because I'm losing my hair quickly.
Would that be creepy or what?
I don't know. Something about ghosts is like not scary. It's like I think it's cool. I mean, I don't think it's cool to invade their space, but I don't know. If you get that like you're cool, I'm cool vibe, like what is a ghost gonna do?
Okay. Oh, there's one more thing. In room 217,
Yes.
the head housekeeper, I'm going to have to read this or I'll get it wrong.
Sure.
Miss Elizabeth Wilson was lighting acetylene lanterns throughout the hotel, obviously early on. Following a power outage, when she got to room 217, there was a horrific accident. Unknowing, there was a gas leak filling the wing of the second floor. And as she entered 217, lighting a match for the lantern, the explosion occurred. And remarkably, no one was injured or killed. However, after passing away in her Estes Park home at age 90, she still hangs around room 217, and you might find her turning on and off the lights or rearranging the furniture or forcing a wedge between unmarried couples.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's old school.
Or moving around, helping them neaten up their clothes that they're packing. So she is still
She's on the
taking care
job.
of people in room
she's
217.
She's on the job.
217's about to get crowded.
I know. I don't know. I just find it fascinating.
Okay.
Fascinating.
All right. The Pfister Hotel in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Does it seem strange that there's haunted hotels in Milwaukee?
Sounds
It just
cheesy.
doesn't seem like a place where ghosts are, but I guess ghosts are everywhere.
I mean, if you want a place to roam, Wisconsin's got it.
I guess that's true.
And don't they say, don't people say, like, you feel the temperature drop whenever there's a spirit in there or something like that? I mean, Wisconsin gets that.
That's true. The
temperature drops. Maybe it's like the family reunion every year when when it gets cold.
Well, and also if you're going to Milwaukee, maybe there's not a whole lot to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The Pfister Hotel might make it on the list.
Well, it's home to like professional baseball and basketball players when they're in town. Apparently that's where they stay. So there's a ton of accounts from MLB players and NBA players saying that the rooms are haunted.
But do the sports legends who stay there, do they use their real names? I wonder. Or do they have, aliases?
I would think they use their real names.
I don't know.
Do the ghosts use their real names or do they use aliases?
Well, we have a quote in our notes from Michael Young. Mm-hmm. He is a former Rangers infielder. I do not know Michael Young, but
Okay. Look him up on Facebook.
He saw a
it sounds like a
ghost.
fairly rare
Yeah,
name.
don't look up Michael Young. Yeah, 4,000.
and basically he said, quit stomping around. You're waking me up. You can stay, do what you need to do, but don't wake me up.
And
Yeah.
they did. See, that's the attitude everybody needs to have with ghosts.
Yeah.
What's up, bruh? Hang out.
You don't want to like offer him like something. Hey, yo, got some Taco Bell over here.
No, it's a ghost.
I am just going to waft it at them. See what they do.
It's a ghost.
No?
He doesn't want Taco Bell. He just wants to hang out. He's probably lonely.
If you can give him some Taco
Yeah.
Bell, if he takes that Taco Bell, he can exercise his demons.
He's not a ghost.
No?
Jeez. Stop.
Oh.
It isn't smell-o-vision.
Ah, yes. Okay. All right. Emily Morgan Hotel. Back to Texas. San Antonio, Texas. Emily Morgan. I've stayed here.
So
Really?
so has Lindsay,
Yeah.
and so have I.
What?
Yeah.
I have?
You have.
When?
I don't know, a long time ago.
I stayed.
a long time.
Did I see a ghost?
You were little. We did not see a ghost.
Dang.
Laura and I stayed there the second night after we were married.
Wow. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is just gorgeous. And again, it's like the Driscoll. It was built in 1924. And so it's got that same tiny room Victorian feel.
Sure. And
But
it's
it's
so
also-
close to the Riverwalk.
I think it's
and
owned by
old
Doubletree
school.
now or somebody
Oh, it
who's
would be.
done a $50 million renovation.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, it was built by Ralph Cameron, who was a very famous architect. And it's got all this cool ornate stuff on the outside, but you want to know what the best thing is? I'm going to tell you. It was built as a medical arts center
Yep.
to house doctors and all of that, and some hospitals and surgeries and things. So they have gargoyles all the way around the top of it, and every gargoyle portrays a different illness, basically,
Yes. Some
a different medical ailment.
Wait, I think I know what building you're talking about. Can you see it? Like, is it next to the Riverwalk?
Yes.
I totally know what building you're talking about.
And it's
I
at
love
the end
that
of the
building.
Alamo area.
I always stare at that building whenever I go stay at the Riverwalk. I'm like,
It is amazing.
oh, that's cool.
It is just gorgeous on the outside and on the inside.
So with this medical background, I guess they have patients walking the halls now. Is that the deal?
Well, they said phones ring in the middle of the night and nobody's at the other end, and items being moved around in rooms, doors shutting. The 14th floor smells like antiseptic. And cameras in the hotel have also captured orbs. And guests.
Like Roy? Orbson?
No, not like Roy Orbs. Orbs.
Mr. Orbson.
Wait, an orb like what Mork used to travel in? From Mork and Mindy? What?
And there's a woman in a white dress wandering the halls.
Let me guess. A bride who got stood up.
It doesn't
Naturally.
say, but the most haunted floors are the 7th, the 9th, the 14th, as well as the basement. And guess what was on those floors?
Ooh, it's got to be a psych ward.
It was a psych ward and a surgery floor, a waiting area, and what was in the basement?
The boiler?
The morgue.
Oh, the morgue. Yeah, the boiler.
So wouldn't those be the most haunted floors?
I mean, if it works out that way. I mean, again, I haven't run into these scenarios, and you used to work at the Driscoll, and
I never saw a ghost.
yeah. So,
But apparently the 12th floor at the Emily Morgan, people see nurses rushing gurneys down the hallway and they just disappear.
are they racing?
I don't know. I think maybe they're playing a game so you can get to the other end of the hallway
That's
first.
what I do with gurneys.
Yeah. But I don't know. Because it was a medical facility for well over 50 years.
Yeah.
For a very long time.
Okay.
So I think it's really cool there.
All right. The next one we have is La Fonda on the Plaza, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Now, Santa Fe, New Mexico, from my understanding, is just crawling with, of course, historic places. And any place you have old history, you're going to have haunted places, according to lore. So La Fonda on the Plaza, Santa Fe, New Mexico. It seems like it's the right area to have a lot of stories.
La Fonda.
La Fonda.
Have you
La 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 La
have you
Fonda.
ever seen Napoleon Dynamite? The chick's name is La Fonda. Anyway.
Okay.
I've never seen it.
Go. Okay. All right. So tell me about this. La Fonda.
Again,
on the
another
Plaza.
just beautiful hotel. Even if you don't stay there, you need to go there. My favorite thing is to go drink at the bar. Actually, I know that might surprise you, but it's fabulous on the inside.
Is this what you
Very
do
New
at old
Mexico.
hotels? Like you do?
It's amazing. I've been to almost all of
I was gonna
these.
say, people are like, I go for the ghosts and the ghost stories and all that. And you're like, I hear they have a good bar.
Okay, the last. Well, I don't know. If I can't stay there, then you got to go in and see.
Okay.
These are historic hotels.
Sure.
Now,
Okay.
the last two I haven't been to, so I'll just let you off the hook right here.
Okay. All right. So who's hanging out at La Fonda?
Oh, there's a bride story, of course.
Oh, come on.
But there's also a judge and there's also a businessman who fell into the well that then they covered up.
Wow, they
There's
just covered it up?
There's a lot of dead people at this place.
Man, if
Yeah.
only he had Lassie. Was his name Timmy?
Apparently not.
Oh, what
No.
a shame.
His name was
I don't think it has it.
La Fonda.
We don't know the guy who died at La Fonda. So, but they have a little plaque there, and it tells about it. So you can go stand there with your beverage and know where the well was. Yes.
Stand there for the beverage, imbibe, and
You can.
read a sad story.
You absolutely can.
Okay,
And there was a bride murdered there in room 510.
these brides.
The 5th floor seems to be problematic. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
So,
I thought, which floor is the haunted floor?
which floor where?
You're like
At
in
La
life.
Fonda?
No, in life.
13.
Okay, that's right.
But that's true only in Western culture. In other cultures, it's a different floor, like 9 or something like that.
Oh.
It's not 13 universally across humanity.
Well, I bet we don't have a lot of RVers who are not in Western culture. So,
Okay.
Wow, what a bold statement.
How do you say something
hey,
so?
all right, folks. How many of you are planning to RV in Thailand? I mean, just saying.
You know what, Caitlin, help us start to rank on the podcast charts in Thailand.
Well, everybody's heard about this next one we're going to talk about, right?
No,
Everybody has heard about it.
No, I haven't.
come
Not
on.
until today.
Really?
Really, this is just not my genre, y'all.
You've never heard of Lizzie Borden?
Nah. Her name alone is a snooze fest.
This is true.
I can't believe that. Where have you been all your life?
not paying attention to this.
Yeah.
There's a lot to pay attention to in this life, and this hasn't ranked very high for me.
Well, maybe some of our listeners haven't heard about this either,
Yeah.
but it is a very famous axe murder.
Okay, Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast. Fall River, Massachusetts.
I want to stay there. That'd be fun. She
Was it for her?
She killed her parents.
Oh, so it was.
But like, I don't even know the story. I just know there's like a little rhyme that says Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, gave her father 41.
Now, wait a second. It says greatest unsolved murder mysteries. How do it? Are they taking liberties with that little limerick you just?
Yeah, there's a whole story, and I don't.
And is it named Lizzie Borden after a supposed axe murder? And you can stay at this place named after an axe murderer?
Well, Lizzie Borden was.
You can sleep in the same bed.
I think she might have been.
Just
okay,
kidding. That'd be weird.
We should have gotten all the info on this. I think Lizzie Borden was hung for it, or put in prison or something,
She
or
was
was she
hanged.
let off? She was let off. So they didn't prove that she did it. Wow. I'm getting notes from the
It was
background
also
here.
1892. How are you going to prove anything?
Yeah. Except
They
for,
couldn't do it back then. There was no proof back then.
you can't.
and there was some consideration that maybe her sister helped her or something.
But does anybody know why she would kill her parents?
And this bed and breakfast, if you try to reserve a spot there for tonight, it's still named after her?
Yes.
You can still stay there.
I get that you can stay there, but why?
But why?
It maintained the name of the supposed axe murder. It didn't change names.
Because it's a tourist thing.
because it was her house. And it was a big house. And now you can stay there as a tourist attraction. So this is not a big hotel. It's not gorgeous.
It's a bed and breakfast.
Maybe.
But nobody would
But-
know what it was if they called it Andrew and Abby Borden. They'd be like, "Who's that? I don't want to stay there."
What if you just called it the Borden Bed and Breakfast? I mean,
That's true.
That convention could go with all these other places.
One of the greatest
But they kept the name.
unsolved
Okay.
mysteries.
because it's not a hotel,
all
it's her
time, they
house.
said.
Maybe.
Whatever.
Okay, so an older woman has been seen roaming the house, and it's speculated that this is Abby Borden going along doing her chores and keeping the house tidy. And visitors have felt the bed sheets tighten, and they've heard brushing as if somebody was smoothing out the wrinkles in their covers. And others have heard a woman crying and a swaying figure walking up the stairs.
You know what? Just to be a low budget actor or actress hired to do this every now and then, just to walk around and do.
I
just to screw
know.
with people.
Yeah.
I there's got to be places they're like, yeah, we just have a small team of people. When they got some extra time, we toss them a few bucks for a night of entertainment.
Well, yeah, because then you get more visitors.
Yes.
And more-
but I would think that if you're Abby Borden and you got hacked to death in your house, you're not going to go around tidying it up. I mean, honestly.
No, they're saying Abby.
Yeah, Abby.
Yeah, but see,
Lizzie Borden's mom.
Ghosts don't
Dear Abby?
like have logic. They're stuck there, and
Are
they
you
just
sure?
do what.
How many ghosts do you really know?
I know a lot of them.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
Y'all
that's
heard
what
it here.
ghosts do. What they did in life, they're just stuck there, so they just keep doing stuff.
Doing whatever they know to
Yeah.
do.
Okay.
All right. Well, I would love to visit there. I don't know if I want to spend the night. That just is creepier than I think I could do.
You could go to the place and stay at a place where a guy fell down the well. But
Totally.
But the axe murder, that's where you draw the line.
It feels so much more personal. I mean, we know those people were axe murdered there.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't like there's a mystery of what happened
Okay.
or one person kind of went off the rails. It is like, ooh, total crazy.
Okay.
I couldn't do it.
Lindsay, you staying there?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
But I would
hey,
stay-
Kaylin, when can I stay at the Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast? When is the next availability? I feel like this is what the people need to hear.
Yeah, because they may be on their way to Fall River, Massachusetts right now.
on their
I don't think
way?
anyone's on
Right
their way to
now.
Fall River.
Hold on. August 8th.
You too.
How much is it? $248 a night. And you can be there August 8th.
Do they allow pets?
Who knows? Oh, goodness.
All right. The last one that we have on our list today is the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel, Los Angeles, California.
Have you stayed here?
I have not, but I totally would stay here.
I totally want to stay here too.
I know. It is where the first Academy Awards was.
They're just a small little shindig.
So just like famous,
just,
a bunch of famous people.
Let's get all the famous people
Oh,
together.
is this like if you want to see famous ghosts, this is where you go?
Yes.
So they
Yes.
say like Marilyn Monroe or whoever's walking the halls.
Yep. I mean,
And famous
Maybe
people
it's a
die
whole lot
every
better than
year.
The Shining.
So does like the A list of ghosts get bigger every single year?
I don't know.
Well, probably just that era because they probably spent time in that hotel. So they're going to go back to it. It's like if I died and then I became a ghost, I'm not sure I would go to like, I don't know.
Would you go to a hotel? I don't know.
A random.
Well, I mean, you figure
Holiday
the life of these A-list actors from way back when, a lot of them lived a significant portion of their life in hotels.
Yeah.
That's true.
Had
That's probably true.
had long-term, I don't know, accommodations at each one.
And when they didn't, they just drank at the bar like PJ.
There you go.
Who
I
is,
mean, if you want to check
by
it out, just go
definition,
drink at the
A-list.
bar.
Have you seen PJ's YouTube
Absolutely.
videos?
So, PJ, when you die, are you going to haunt the
I was
Hollywood
going to say,
Roosevelt Hotel?
Lindsay,
No,
you'll know
no.
where to visit her.
No. But the
At
first
the bar.
the first Academy Awards was in 1929. So if you think about it, that was really the heyday of like I don't know, the roaring 20s. There was a lot of money. The Depression hadn't happened, the stock market crash. So it was tons of parties and all kinds of lavish
Yeah.
entertainment.
Yeah.
So 1929, they get all of these famous people together, have the first Academy Awards at this hotel. I don't know. I can see why it would be the place to go after that. Don't you?
Yeah,
pretty
it's
cool.
probably a massive memory for anyone who was there.
Right.
Maybe the highlight of their life.
Well,
you know?
now, Marilyn Monroe wasn't there in 1929, but it still became the place to go.
Okay.
So I can certainly see that. So Marilyn Monroe, so she stayed apparently in Suite 1200. And people say that they sometimes see her reflection in the mirror.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know how much Suite. hey, Caitlin, how much is Suite 1200 at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel? I bet it's more than $300.
I bet it's like $1,200 a night.
I bet it's at least $5.
Yeah. I bet we're over 2,000 or 3,000.
I mean, it is LA. So
It is LA and it is the
Ooh,
Roosevelt.
Clint.
is my
but-
phone ringing? My phone hardly ever rings.
Hey, Clint, do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah.
Mom, do you believe in ghosts?
Yep.
Awesome.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes, duh.
All right. Well,
Caitlin, do you believe in ghosts? She does, everybody.
all right. Well, then how come I've never seen one?
Well,
They don't believe in
that's
me.
not the way belief
They don't
works.
believe in me.
I haven't seen
Is
the
that
wind
it?
either, but I have seen proof of it.
Yeah.
And
I
felt
mean,
it.
that's not how belief works. You have to
Okay.
believe without seeing.
Okay.
And you probably have seen a ghost. You just didn't know it or didn't notice it. Live more in the moment. Maybe you'll see a ghost.
Okay. I'll work on it.
Or convince yourself that you saw a ghost.
But in the meantime, I think everybody should put one or two of these hotels on their bucket list.
Why not?
Whatever,
As a waypoint.
whatever seems,
Yeah.
on the way through. Because remember, I told you, you can always just stop in at the bar. Then you've been there.
Don't even have to stay there.
That's right.
And if you spend enough time there with the right drink, you'll probably
You might
be able
see
to
some
convince
ghosts.
yourself that you've seen a ghost.
Well, I can tell you most of these places where I've only been to the bar is because I didn't have enough money to stay there.
Yeah.
I only had enough money for
drink.
a margarita at the bar.
Yeah.
So I
Which doesn't sound like the worst
Still
way
works.
to spend your time.
still works.
Honestly. So I think that this is a great way to make little waypoints in your travels, crisscrossing the U.S. is if you're not going to stay there, or even if you are, check out some neat, cool places. I liked the idea when honestly, let's just call her today producer Caitlin. When producer Caitlin came up with the idea and pitched it to us and all that, I liked it because we've talked before about themed travel, or let your interests guide the way you plan. Well, this can easily fit into that bracket. Let your interests guide where you go and how you go there.
You can just go back and forth between like haunted hotels and just stay like boondock in a cemetery.
I think I would, if this were in my...
If that's what you're into.
That's a good idea. It is a good idea. So I think if this were my category, haunted mansions, haunted hotels or whatever, I'd probably pair it up with cheeseburgers. You know, go to a haunted mansion and then go find the best
cheeseburger in town.
Yeah.
Oh, cheeseburgers and ghosts. They do go well together, Clint. That's a really good idea.
It's a good pairing.
Yeah.
I like food themed travel, just period. I don't even need the ghosts in there.
Yeah, but
I love food themed travel.
Gonna eat a cheeseburger, you might as well see a ghost.
That's
too.
right. Okay,
obviously.
how
much? Tell us how much the Marilyn Monroe suite is.
It's $9.55 a night, but it's a replica.
Why?
They don't have the real one anymore.
You
don't
can
have the
stay
room?
in a replica of
Oh,
Suite
I can see all the
1200.
way from over here. The Cabana suite is way cooler looking than the Marilyn Monroe suite anyway.
Oh,
That's
okay.
well, honky.
There you have it. You can stay in a replica. Maybe Marilyn the ghost doesn't mind.
I mean, yeah, she doesn't.
she
She's
doesn't
like, whatever.
care.
I'm a ghost.
Feels the same to her, I guess.
All right. Well, everybody, make some cool plans. Hit us up on the socials. Look us up on RV Small Talk Podcast. Maybe comment on the video on YouTube, and go on our review section on Apple Podcasts. Whatever. Let us know your thoughts on some neat places, some neat lists of places. What's your theme? that you're
Yeah,
gonna be
what's your
traveling?
theme? Because we might want a podcast on it.
Yeah. Lindsay, anything? No? Cool. DJ?
I don't know. I'm ready for a road trip.
All right. Very good.
Road trip.
And unrelated, PJ got an espresso coffee machine. It's pretty cool.
Unrelated?
Well, is it related?
Unrelated. Clint, is that your third cup of coffee today?
I don't know. We're having
Yes,
a
because
lot
you-
of fun with it.
Lindsay didn't want her cup of coffee I made for her, so how was I going to let it go to waste? So yes, it was totally my third cup of coffee here. I may have had one at home first.
But you didn't have to drink the third one.
Hey.
How do I podcast without a cup of... Why are you judging me on my coffee
I'm just
intake?
confused. I'm not.
I'm feeling a little
I won't have
bit...
another
that's
birthday.
the coffee, Clint.
I won't have another birthday for a year. So, you know what? We can add more things. Maybe the wine bar is next year for my birthday.
Oh,
No,
why?
wine bar
I don't
for
know.
my
No.
birthday. I don't
Okay.
like coffee. I need a wine bar.
I'll take a chocolate bar.
All right, guys.
You dip chocolate,
Chocolate
in your
fondue
Nespresso coffee.
someday. Right here on the podcast.
Bye,
Just for Clint.
everybody.
Bye.